UK and our partners have called this urgent meeting of the Security Council today to discuss the attack last night on Zaporizhzhia power station, nuclear power station in Ukraine. This is the first time a state has attacked a fueled and functioning nuclear power plant, and it is clearly outlawed by international law and the Geneva Conventions. So, of course, we want to see Russian troops withdraw. We want to see experts get access to the power station. But this is going to be, I think, a critical point now for the Security Council to discuss.
Do you consider it a war crime?
We've already had discussions about war crimes, and the UK is one of 39 countries that has joined the call for the ICC prosecutor to go ahead with that. But as I say, attacks on nuclear power facilities are outlawed by the Geneva Convention and by international law.
Has anybody talked to the Russians about this, about this attack and ensuring that there are no future attacks?
I know that President Macron spoke to President Putin yesterday, and among P3 colleagues, we were in touch urgently with our Russian counterpart last night to call for an end to the attack and to ensure that the fire had been put out and the situation was safeguarded, yes.
And what did Ambassador Nevencia tell you when you reached out to him?
So he said that the fire had been put out, and as you can see, we're now moving into a Security Council discussion today. Thank you.
Did he say that Russia attacked it, or is he claiming the Ukrainians attacked it?
That wasn't what we just, the line that I heard from him was that the fire had been put out, and that was all that we got. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you plan to have red line?
Good morning, everyone. Ireland joined in the call for an urgent meeting this morning because really chilling development overnight to see military activity attack, really, firing on a nuclear power plant at Zaporizhzhia. So my own minister has called this morning, Simon Coveney, for immediate cessation of any military activity in the area. Of course, we know the solution to the overall problem is that Russia halts its aggression and withdraws from all of the territory of Ukraine. Today we're really focused on making sure that safety and security standards in this nuclear power plant are respected. I want to hear from the IEA about what their assessment of the situation is. I'm worried. I'm worried about the personnel, the Ukrainian personnel in that power plant. We want to be sure about their safety and security. I salute them for continuing to work under such extraordinary circumstances, but we want them to be safe themselves. I'm also concerned that there will be an interruption in energy supply. The people of Ukraine are already in a dire situation from a humanitarian perspective, and we'll have time to talk about that next week. They're suffering unspeakable pressure and tragedy. An interruption in basic services, if there were an energy interruption, is just unacceptable. So we will be calling once again on Russia to halt its aggression inside.
Ambassador, do you plan to have red lines before action of the Security Council?
Do I plan to have? I'm afraid I didn't hear the full question.
Red line. Before action.
You know, red lines really are not what concern us. What we want to see is an end to this aggression. We believe this is illegal, it's a contravention of the Charter, and above all, it's an impunity and an attack on territorial sovereignty and integrity for Ukraine. Our red line is any invasion of any independent democratic country, as we have in Ukraine. My red lines are when I look at women and children leaving their homes with small babies being born en route, women as always the most vulnerable. We've seen some reports, allegations overnight about abuse of women. You know, the innocent are always the ones who bear the burden in this situation. We want to see an end to this aggression. As you would say, Philippe, point à la ligne.
Good morning. Well, today, the aggression by Russia against Ukraine implied an attack on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Of course, we strongly condemn this new attack on the integrity of a nuclear facility. the safety of all nuclear structures must be guaranteed. In this context, France strongly supports the initiatives of the Director General of the IAEA. Is in charge of that, and he will monitor, the agency will monitor the situation. We are also extremely worried by the humanitarian impact of the Russian military operations in Ukraine. This underlines once again the urgent need for an immediate cessation of hostilities, respect of international humanitarian law, protection of civilians, and humanitarian access. This is why France and Mexico have initiated discussions in the Security Council on a draft resolution on the humanitarian situation in Ukraine.
Monsieur l'ambassadeur, Boris Johnson a dit que toute l'Europe était en danger après les événements de cette nuit à la centrale. Boris Johnson a dit que toute l'Europe était en danger après les événements de cette nuit.
We'll see. We'll have a briefing by the IAEA right now, so I don't want to make comments on the technical aspects. I think the IAEA will brief the Council right now. I think it's public, so I think you will have the briefing of the IAEA.
Est-ce que vous prévoyez d'établir des lignes rouges avant une action